The rain pounded the roof of our Portland Craftsman home, a relentless drumbeat that matched the ache in my temples as I sat in the living room, my laptop glowing with a stack of ungraded essays. It was a dreary Thursday evening, the kind that makes you crave coffee and quiet, and I was elbow-deep in sophomore papers on the American Revolution, the dishwasher's hum a steady companion. Mia, my 12-year-old daughter, was upstairs, probably coding one of her video games, her headphones blocking out the world. Tom, my husband of 25 years, had texted an hour ago. Client dinner, running late. His third late night this week, but I brushed it off, trusting his role as a corporate accountant demanded it. Our life was a rhythm of routine, my teaching, his spreadsheets, Mia's school projects, all building toward the retirement we dreamed of, a cottage on the Oregon coast, maybe a trip to Florence. The $200,000 in our retirement fund, saved through years of sacrifice, was our ticket there, a promise we'd never break. Or so I thought. A ping from my inbox jolted me, a bank alert with a subject line that stopped my heart. Your retirement account balance has fallen below the minimum threshold. I froze, my coffee mug halfway to my lips, the rain outside seeming to roar louder. That account was sacred, untouchable. A fortress of $200,000 built from skipped vacations, a 15-year-old Honda, and my summer school gigs. Tom, with his accountant's precision, managed it, assuring me it was safe. Growing slowly but surely. I clicked the email, my fingers clumsy, expecting a typo, a glitch, anything but the truth. The login screen loaded, and I entered our credentials, my breath shallow. The balance stared back. $0. No transactions, no history, just a void where our future should have been, as if it had never existed. I refreshed the page, my pulse hammering, willing the numbers to change, but they didn't. My hands shook as I dialed Tom, his voicemail greeting crisp. This is Tom Mitchell, leave a message. I tried again, then texted. Call me now. Bank issue. No reply. The silence was a weight, crushing the air from my lungs. I thought of his recent late nights, the new cologne. The way he dodged questions about his day with a vague, works crazy. I chalked it up to stress, our marriage a comfortable routine, not perfect but solid. Or so I believed. The rain battered the windows, and I opened our joint credit card account, dread pooling in my gut. The transactions hit like a slap. $5,000 for a Seattle hotel, $3,000 at a jewelry store, $10. 000 at a Las Vegas casino, all within the past month. Dates lined up with Tom's client trips, expenses he'd never mentioned, luxuries we'd never afford. My vision blurred, tears hot on my cheeks. As I scrolled through more, a $2,000 spa package, $1,500 for plane tickets to Miami, a $4,000 restaurant bill. This wasn't a glitch, this was theft, a life I didn't know, funded by our retirement. Our dreams. I thought of the years we'd scrimped, me grading papers at midnight, Tom promising every penny was safe. Had he lied all along? I called again, my voice breaking in his voicemail. Tom, where's our money? What have you done? No answer. The house felt too small, the walls closing in, the dishwasher's hum now a mocking drone. I checked his location on our shared app. But he'd turned it off, a first in years. My stomach twisted, memories of his new suits, his distracted smiles, flashing like warning signs I'd ignored. Mia's footsteps creaked on the stairs, her hoodie swallowing her slight frame, her dark eyes catching mine. Mom, you look weird, she said, her voice soft but sharp, like she saw through me. I forced a smile, my hands trembling as I closed the laptop. Just tired, sweetie. Too many essays. You finish your coding. She nodded, lingering, her gaze flicking to my phone, still open to the credit card app. Is Dad home soon? She asked, and I swallowed, my throat tight. Late meeting. I lied, hating the quiver in my voice. Mia's brow furrowed, but she didn't push, padding to the kitchen for a soda. I watched her go, her quiet intensity a mirror of Tom's, but pure, untouched by whatever he'd done. I reopened the laptop, my fingers hovering over the bank's fraud hotline, but stopped. What if Tom had an explanation? A hack? A mistake? I wanted to believe him, to cling to the man who'd kissed me goodnight for 25 years, who'd cried when Mia was born. But the charges, the silence, told a different story. I searched the hotel's name, finding a glitzy Seattle high-rise, its website boasting suites with harbor views. The jewelry store had an Instagram, showcasing diamond necklaces, the kind I'd never owned. The casino's site flashed with slot machines, a world Tom, the cautious accountant, would never touch. Or so I'd thought. Each click was a cut, deeper than the last, my trust bleeding out. I checked our savings, terrified it was gone too, but it held steady, $10,000, untouched. Small relief, but it didn't ease the panic. The retirement fund was our lifeline, the reward for years of saying no to new cars, fancy dinners, anything that wasn't Mia's future or ours. I thought of her college, our coastal cottage. Florence's cobblestone streets, all erased. My sobs came then, quiet but raw, muffled by my hands. Mia's voice startled me from the kitchen doorway. "Mom, what's wrong?" She stood, soda in hand. Her eyes too old for her face, like she'd seen this coming. I wiped my tears, my voice shaky. "Just work stress, honey. Go to bed, okay." She didn't move, her gaze piercing, then nodded. Retreating upstairs. I knew she didn't believe me, and that scared me more than the empty account. I called Ellen, my friend and financial advisor, her voice groggy but concerned at 10 p.m. "Karen, what's happened?" I spilled it all, the zero balance, the charges, Tom's absence. "Hire a private investigator," she urged, but I balked, the cost a hurdle with our savings so low. "Check his email." "His phone," she said. "People leave trails." I nodded, though she couldn't see, my resolve hardening. I tried Tom's email, but his password had changed, another red flag. His social media was bland. Work posts and family photos, but a new follower caught my eye, Lisa Harper, a marketing manager at his firm, her profile picture all smiles and confidence. My gut screamed she was the key. The woman behind the charges, but I had no proof, just a name and a sinking certainty. The rain slowed to a drizzle, the house dark except for my laptop's glow. I texted Tom one last time. "I know about the money. Call me or I call the police." No reply. I thought of Mia, her future tied to that fund, her dreams of coding school now at risk. I'd failed her, trusting Tom, believing our marriage was a fortress. The credit card app stayed open, a catalog of Betrayal, $1,000 for a Miami boutique, $2,500 for a watch. Who was this man I'd loved? I stood, pacing to the window, the street empty, Tom's car nowhere in sight. He wasn't coming home, not tonight, maybe not ever. The realization hit like a wave, drowning my hope, leaving only anger and fear. Mia's bedroom light flickered on upstairs, her silhouette moving behind the curtain. I wanted to protect her, to keep this nightmare from her, but her sharp eyes told me she already sensed it. What had she seen in Tom, in us, that I'd missed? The retirement fund, our life's work, was gone, and with it, my trust in the man I'd built it with. I sank onto the couch, the laptop still open. Lisa Harper's name burning in my mind. Tomorrow, I'd fight, dig, find answers, but tonight, I was a woman betrayed, staring into the void of a future stolen. With only my daughter's quiet strength to hold on to, I tore through Tom's home office, my hand shaking as I rifled through his desk drawers, the Portland dawn barely breaking outside, a gray veil over the house. It was 5 a.m. Hours after the bank alert had shattered my world, and Tom's phone remained off, his texts unanswered, his absence a knife twisting deeper. The office, usually his sanctuary of neatly stacked files and coffee-stained mugs, felt like enemy territory, every folder a potential clue to the $200,000 he'd stolen from our retirement fund. I yanked open a drawer, spilling pins and receipts, my breath ragged, until my fingers closed on a locked metal box, small enough to hide but heavy with secrets. I pried it open with a letter opener. My heart pounding, and found a burner phone, its screen lighting up with a single contact, Lisa Harper. A text preview glared. "Can't wait for Aruba, baby." My stomach lurched. The betrayal no longer a suspicion but a fact, etched in black and white. I sank into Tom's chair, the burner phone trembling in my grip, its cheap plastic mocking the life we'd built. I scrolled through messages, each one a wound. Lisa's "Love the necklace" from the $3,000 jewelry charge. Tom's "Booked the Miami suite," matching the credit card's $2,500 hit. They planned a Caribbean escape, funded by our retirement, our dreams of Florence and a coastal cottage. I wanted to scream, to call him, but his silence told me he was gone, maybe with her. Living a lie while I graded essays and Mia coded upstairs. I opened his laptop, guessing his password, our wedding date, unchanged, and found a hidden folder labeled Taxes. Inside were bank transfers. $50,000 at a time to an offshore account in the Caymans, the last one dated 3 days ago. My tears fell, hot and silent, as I printed the statements, my hands steady with rage. Mia's voice startled me from the doorway, her hoodie rumpled, eyes wide but calm. "Mom, what are you doing in Dad's office?" she asked, her tone too even for 5:30 a.m. I shoved the burner phone into my pocket, my voice tight. "Just checking some bills, sweetie. Go back to bed." She didn't move, her gaze flicking to the papers spilling from the printer, the open box. "Is it about the bank thing?" she said, and I froze, her perceptiveness cutting through my lie. "Mia, it's grown-up stuff," I said, sharper than I meant, but she stepped closer, her voice firm. "I can help, Mom. I know how to find things." I shook my head, my throat burning. "Not this, honey. Please, just go." She lingered, then nodded, retreating. But her eyes held a glint I didn't recognize, like she was already planning something. I called Ellen, my financial advisor friend, her voice groggy but sharp at 6 a.m. "Karen, you found proof?" I spilled everything. The burner phone, the offshore account, Lisa Harper's name. "Hire an investigator," Ellen urged, "and a lawyer. This is fraud." I balked, our $10,000 savings too thin for both. But she insisted. "Check his email, his cloud. He's sloppy, they always are." I hung up, my resolve hardening, and tried Tom's email, but the password had changed, locking me out. His cloud was the same, a wall I couldn't breach. I searched Lisa Harper online, her LinkedIn pristine, her Instagram private, but a public Facebook post from a coworker tagged her at a Vegas casino. Tom's arm around her, his smile one I hadn't seen in years. The caption read, "Power couple alert. Posted 2 weeks ago, when Tom claimed he was in Seattle for work." My chest tightened. The betrayal of physical ache. I thought of our sacrifices, my summer school shifts, Tom's promises that every penny was safe. Had he planned this all along, or had Lisa seduced him? Her youth and charm a lure I couldn't match? I printed the Facebook photo, adding it to the growing pile. Statements, texts, receipts from the jewelry store, casino, spa. Each piece was a brick in the case I'd build, but it wasn't enough. I needed Tom's confession, his accounts, his truth. I texted him again, my words cold. "I know about Lisa and the money. Come home, or I go to the police." No reply, but the message marked read, a taunt that fueled my anger. Mia appeared at breakfast, her laptop under her arm, her silence heavy as she ate cereal. "Dad's not coming home, is he?" she asked, her voice flat, like she'd already accepted it. I swallowed, my hands gripping my coffee mug. "I don't know, Mia. He's busy." She met my eyes, her gaze piercing. "You don't have to lie, Mom. I saw the credit card app on your phone last night." My breath caught, her words a jolt. "Mia, you shouldn't," I started, but she cut me off. Her voice steady. "I'm not a baby. I can handle it. Let me help." I stared, torn between shielding her and needing her strength. "It's not your job," I said, but she stood, her laptop open. "I'm good at finding things, Mom. Trust me." Before I could stop her, Mia was typing, her fingers a blur, her screen filled with code I didn't understand. "What are you doing?" I asked, my voice sharp. "Checking something," she said, not looking up. I wanted to yank the laptop away, to protect her from this mess, but her focus, so like Tom's yet fiercer, stopped me. I called Patricia Chun, a divorce lawyer Ellen recommended, leaving a voicemail. "My husband stole our retirement fund. I have evidence, but I need help." Hanging up, I felt a spark of control. But Mia's typing didn't stop, her silence a storm brewing. I went back to Tom's office, searching his files, finding a receipt for a $4,000 watch, dated last month. Tucked in a folder labeled Expenses. Another drawer held a hotel keycard, the Seattle high-rise logo gleaming, a trophy of his betrayal. I added them to my pile, my hands steady now, fueled by a need to know how deep this went. I thought of Mia, her offer to help, her eerie calm. Had she seen Tom's distance, his lies, before I did? I checked her room. Finding her school tablet open to a hacking forum, bookmarked pages on phishing and password cracks. My stomach twisted, pride and fear colliding. What was my daughter capable of? Ellen called back, her voice urgent. "Karen, I ran a credit check. Tom opened a secret account last year, linked to Lisa Harper. It's got $20,000, probably your money. I gasped, the scope of his deceit widening. Can we freeze it? I asked, my voice shaking. With a lawyer, yes, she said. But act fast. He's moving money. I nodded, my mind racing, and texted Patricia again, attaching the burner phone texts. The office felt like a crime scene. Every paper a clue, every silence a threat. Mia called from the kitchen, her voice sharp. Mom, come here. I rushed in, finding her laptop open to Tom's email. Somehow unlocked, a draft to Lisa unsent, Aruba's booked, $50,000 more transferred. Karen's clueless. My knees buckled, Mia's hand on my arm steadying me. I got in, she said, her voice calm but hard. There's more, Mom. A lot more. I stared at her, my 12-year-old daughter, who'd cracked the wall Tom built, exposing a betrayal I couldn't face alone. The rain started again, a low rumble. As Mia scrolled, her screen a map of lies, and I knew this was only the beginning. My phone rang, shattering the tense silence of the Portland kitchen, Tom's name flashing on the screen like a warning shot. It was Friday morning, hours after Mia had cracked his email, exposing his Aruba plans with Lisa and the $200,000 he'd siphoned from our retirement fund. I froze, Mia's laptop still open on the counter, her latest hack revealing bank transfers to Lisa's account. My finger hovered over the decline button, fear and fury warring, but I answered, my voice ice. You've got some nerve, Tom. His laugh, cold and sharp, cut through. Karen, you're digging where you shouldn't. Drop it, or you and Mia will regret it. My blood ran cold, his threat a blade pressed to my heart. You stole our future, I spat, gripping the counter. And now you're threatening us? He sneered, his voice low. Keep pushing, and you'll see what I'm capable of. Lisa's worth it. I hung up, my hands trembling. The kitchen air thick with the scent of burnt coffee. Tom's words echoed, a new danger I hadn't anticipated, not just a thief but a man unhinged, ready to protect his mistress at our expense. Mia looked up from her laptop, her eyes sharp. Was that Dad? She asked, her tone flat, like she'd expected this. I nodded, my voice tight. He's angry, Mia. He knows we're onto him. She didn't flinch, her fingers already typing, her screen flashing with code. He's scared, she said, her voice hard. I found more, Mom. He's moving money again. I leaned over, my heart racing. As she showed me a live feed of Tom's offshore account, $20,000 transferred to Lisa's name an hour ago. I can stop it, Mia said, her eyes gleaming, but I grabbed her wrist, panic rising. Mia, this is dangerous. He threatened you. She pulled away, her voice fierce. He's the danger, Mom. I'm not letting him win. Before I could argue, she opened a script, her fingers a blur, and sent a command to freeze the account, a trick she'd learned from a coding forum. A confirmation popped up, transaction blocked. I gasped, awe and dread colliding. How did you? I started. But she cut me off, her voice steady. I emailed an Ellen's lawyer friend, Patricia. She's got everything, emails, transfers, Lisa's account. Dad's trapped. I stared. My 12-year-old daughter outmaneuvering a man I'd trusted for decades. Her calm a mirror of the boy who'd toppled Damien in another story, but scarier, closer. I called Patricia, my voice urgent, spilling Tom's threat and Mia's actions. He's dangerous, Karen. Patricia warned, her tone crisp. I've filed a fraud claim and frozen his accounts, but you need a restraining order. Mia's evidence is gold, but don't let her dig deeper. I hung up, my stomach churning, Tom's threat looping. You and Mia will regret it. I thought of our life. The craftsman home we painted together, Mia's baby shoes in the attic, all tainted by his greed. Mia was still typing, her screen now showing Lisa's Venmo, linked to payments labeled consulting. She's in on it, Mia said, her voice cold. I sent her boss an anonymous tip with screenshots. She's done. I grabbed the laptop, my voice sharp. Mia, stop. This isn't your fight. She met my eyes, unyielding. It's our fight, Mom. He hurt us. I paced to the living room, the evidence pile growing. Burner phone texts, bank statements, the Vegas photo of Tom and Lisa. Tom's call had shifted the game, his threat a storm cloud over Mia's safety, our home. I texted Ellen, my words frantic. Tom threatened Mia. Need help tracing Lisa's accounts. Ellen replied instantly. My cousin's a banker, can dig into Lisa's finances. Stay safe. I nodded, clutching the phone, but Mia's voice cut through. I found something else, she called. Her tone urgent. I rushed back, her screen showing an email from Tom to a shady broker. Move $100,000 to Aruba account. Karen suspicious. Sent last night, before his call. He's running, Mia said. Her voice steel. But I can track him. She opened a GPS app, somehow linked to Tom's burner phone, showing a dot in Seattle, near the hotel from the credit card charges. He's with her, Mia said. Her fingers hovering over a command to ping his location to Patricia. I stopped her, my voice trembling. Mia, he's dangerous. Let the lawyer handle it. She shook her head, her eyes fierce. Lawyers are slow, Mom. I'm faster. I thought of Jason, his chilling resolve in the original story, and saw Mia teetering on that edge, her brilliance a weapon I couldn't control. I called Patricia again, my voicemail desperate. Tom's in Seattle, threatening us. Mia's tracking him, but I'm scared. Help. The house felt like a trap, every creak a warning. I gathered the evidence, locking it in a safe, my hands steady with purpose. Mia's hacking was a lifeline, but Tom's threat was a noose, tightening with each move. I thought of Mia's future. Her coding dreams, now at risk not just from stolen money, but from her own recklessness. Mia, I said, my voice soft but firm, you're my daughter, not a detective. Promise you'll stop. She looked at me, her eyes softening, but didn't answer, her silence a rebellion. The phone rang again, an unknown number, and I ignored it, fear spiking. Tom was out there, Lisa by his side. And Mia was racing toward a fight I couldn't win alone. I stood at the edge of our backyard, my voice cutting through the chatter of our 25th anniversary party, the Portland evening humid, the crowd of neighbors and family frozen as I raised a USB drive. Tom has something to confess, I said, my words sharp, trembling with fury, as I plugged the drive into the projector, Mia's hand steady on my arm. The screen flickered to life. Showing Tom's email to Lisa Harper, Aruba's booked, $50,000 more transferred. Karen's clueless. Gasps rippled through the guests, Tom's face draining of color, Lisa, uninvited but present. Clutching his arm. I'd orchestrated this, inviting her through Mia's hacked access to Tom's calendar, ensuring they'd face the truth before everyone we knew. You stole our retirement, I said. My voice breaking, pointing at Tom, $200,000 for her. The crowd parted, eyes wide, as Mia stepped forward, her laptop open, ready to unleash her final blow. Tom stammered, his suit rumpled. His voice desperate. Karen, this is a misunderstanding. But the projector flashed again, Mia's work. Bank transfers to Lisa's account. Text from the burner phone, love the necklace, baby. Synced with the $3,000 jewelry charge. Lisa's gasp was audible, her heels clicking as she backed away, but I pressed on, my voice raw. You threatened Mia, Tom, our daughter. For this woman? I showed the Vegas photo, Tom's arm around Lisa, her smile smug, the crowd murmuring. Mia's voice, calm but piercing, cut through. You moved money to the Caymans, Dad. I froze it. She clicked, and the screen showed the offshore account, locked by Patricia's legal action, $180,000 recovered. Tom's knees buckled, his voice a plea. Mia, honey, I didn't mean. Didn't mean what? I shouted. Tears streaming, the USB drive shaking in my hand. To steal our future? To cheat with her? To threaten your own child? I thought of the years I'd trusted him, grading essays while he planned Aruba. My summer school checks funneled to Lisa's diamonds. Mia's screen shifted, showing a video, hacked from Lisa's webcam, her voice clear. Tom, once we're in Aruba, Karen's nothing. The crowd gasped. Lisa's face crimson, her voice shrill. This is a lie. But Mia clicked again, a Venmo screenshot. Lisa's consulting payments linked to Tom's fraud, sent anonymously to her boss. Triggering her firing hours ago. You're done, Lisa, Mia said, her eyes cold, like Jason's in that other story, chilling me even as I leaned on her strength. Tom lunged for the laptop. His voice frantic. Mia, stop this. I'm your father. But I stepped between them, my voice steel. You're nothing to us. You chose her, chose greed, over your family. I handed him divorce papers. Patricia's work, served publicly, the crowd silent. Sign, or the police get everything, I said, my hand steady, the burner phone text printed, ready for court. Lisa ran, her purse spilling. Guests whispering, but Tom grabbed my arm, his voice low, venomous. You'll regret this, Karen. I'll take everything. I yanked free, Mia's hand in mine, her voice fierce. You've got nothing left. Dad. I made sure. The projector showed her final hack, a tip to the IRS, Tom's offshore account flagged for tax evasion, his career in ruins. Ellen, my friend, pushed through the crowd. Her voice urgent. Karen, Patricia's on her way. Tom's accounts are seized. Tom's face crumpled, his voice a sob. Karen, I love you. I messed up, please. But I laughed, bitter. The pain of his threats, his lies, fueling me. Love? You threatened Mia, stole our dreams, for her. I pointed to Lisa's retreating figure, the crowd parting like a sea. Get out, I said. My voice final, and Tom stumbled away, the divorce papers clutched, his suit a mockery of the man I'd loved. Mia closed her laptop, her eyes meeting mine, a mix of pride and exhaustion. It's over. Mom, she said, but I felt the weight of her actions, her brilliance a double-edged sword. I sank onto a chair, the party dissolving, guests whispering, the projector dark. Ellen stayed. Her hand on my shoulder. You did it, Karen. You and Mia. I nodded, my throat tight, the evidence safe with Patricia, the recovered $180,000 a lifeline. But Tom's threat lingered. His desperation a shadow. I thought of Mia, her hacking, her icy resolve. So like that boy who'd trapped a criminal, but she was my daughter, not a vigilante. Mia, I said, my voice soft. You can't do this again. It's too dangerous. She looked away, her silence heavy, and I feared the fire in her, the part that didn't flinch at ruin. Patricia arrived, her voice crisp. Tom's facing fraud charges. Karen. Lisa's under investigation. You're free. I exhaled. The divorce papers signed. The house mine. Mia's safe. But the victory felt hollow. Tom's betrayal a scar. I hugged Mia, her small frame tense, and whispered, I'm proud, but I'm scared for you. She nodded, her voice quiet. I had to, Mom. For us. The backyard emptied, the rain starting again. A soft patter, and I knew this wasn't the end. Not with Tom's threats, Lisa's role, and Mia's power still burning, ready to ignite. I kneaded clay in my new Portland pottery studio, my hands steady as the wheels spun, shaping a vase from raw earth, a quiet act of creation after months of destruction. It was a crisp Monday. 6 months since the anniversary party where Mia and I exposed Tom's theft of our $200,000 retirement fund, his affair with Lisa Harper, and his threats against us. The studio, funded by selling Tom's prized vintage car, was my haven, its shelves lined with mugs and bowls, each a step toward healing. Mia was at school, her coding now channeled into a tech academy. But her icy resolve at the party, her hacks that ruined Tom, lingered in my mind. I'd won back our money, our home, our future, but at what cost to her heart? The clay smoothed under my fingers. A promise to rebuild, not just for me, but for Mia, to soften the edges of her brilliance. Patricia Chun, my lawyer, called that morning, her voice crisp. Tom's plea deal is done. Karen. Tax evasion. Fraud. 3 years in prison. I exhaled, the news a weight lifted. Lisa, implicated in the offshore scheme, faced her own charges, her marketing career shattered after Mia's tip to her boss. The $180,000 was back in our account, plus $20,000 in penalties, enough for my retirement and Mia's college. I thanked Patricia, my voice steady, and hung up, the clay spinning faster. Tom's threats? His sneer about Lisa being worth it were silenced, but his betrayal, a 25-year lie, scarred me still. I thought of Mia, her webcam hack, her IRS tip, her chilling calm. So like that boy who'd trapped a criminal and vowed to guide her, to keep her heart from hardening. Mia's actions hadn't stopped at the party. She'd sent an anonymous email to Tom's firm, leaking his client fraud, ensuring his accounting license was revoked. He can't hurt anyone now, she'd said, her eyes hard, and I'd nodded, torn between pride and fear. I enrolled her in the academy, setting rules, no hacking, no secrets. She agreed, but her late-night coding sessions, her guarded smiles, worried me. I called Ellen, my friend. Her voice warm over coffee. Mia's a genius, Karen, but she needs you to balance her. Teach her trust. I nodded, the clay grounding me, knowing Mia's love for me, our bond, was my anchor. Tom's sister, Laura, visited, her eyes weary. He's sorry, Karen. He wants to see Mia. I laughed, bitter, my hands pausing on the wheel. Sorry doesn't erase threats, Laura. He stole our future. Chose Lisa over us. She sighed, her voice soft. He's lost everything, Karen. Give him a chance. I shook my head, my voice firm. Me is my priority. He's nothing to us. Laura left. Her shoulders slumped, and I returned to the clay, my resolve iron. Tom's prison cell, Lisa's downfall, were justice, but my focus was Mia, our life, rebuilt from ash. Mia came home. Her backpack heavy, her voice bright. Mom, I won a coding contest. I hugged her, my heart swelling, the vase taking shape. I'm proud, sweetie. But no more secret projects, okay? She nodded. Her eyes softening, but I saw a flicker, a shadow of the girl who'd frozen Tom's accounts. We ate dinner, her laughter over pizza a bomb, and I asked, You ever think about Dad? She paused, her voice quiet. He chose her, Mom. I chose us. Her words, raw but true, echoed my own, and I squeezed her hand, our bond a fortress. Patricia's email arrived, confirming the divorce was final. The house mine, Mia's custody secure. I sold Tom's golf clubs, adding to the studio's kiln fund, each sale a purge of his memory. Ellen's cousin traced Lisa's accounts, revealing her plea deal. Probation, restitution, her savings gone. Mia's tip had unraveled her, and I marveled at my daughter's reach, her power a double-edged sword. I set boundaries, monitoring her laptop, guiding her to ethical coding, but her smirk, I protected us, Mom, lingered, a reminder of her fire. The studio opened officially, neighbors crowding for the launch, their support a lifeline. Mia helped, her apron clay-streaked, her smile genuine. Ellen brought scones, her laughter filling the space, and I felt whole, a woman rebuilt at 53. Tom wrote from prison, begging forgiveness. But I shredded the letter, Mia watching, her nod firm. He's gone, Mom, she said, and I hugged her, her warmth my anchor. Lisa's last call, pleading poverty, met my silence. Mia, overhearing, whispered, She's nothing now, her voice softer, less cold. A year later, the studio thrived, my vases in local galleries, Mia excelling at the academy, her coding now for apps, not vengeance. We moved to a smaller home, the craftsman's memories too heavy, its sale funding a college trust for Mia. I joined a pottery collective, finding friends, even a spark with David, a sculptor. His humor a quiet joy. Mia teased, He's cool, Mom. Her eyes bright, her heart opening. We rode bikes to the studio, her laughter echoing, and I knew we'd survived, not just Tom's betrayal, but the fire Mia's brilliance could ignite. One evening, shaping a bowl, I thought of Tom's final threat, his prison bars, Lisa's ruin. Justice was served, but my victory was here. Clay under my nails, Mia's coding awards on the wall, our laughter over dinner. I worried for Mia, her genius a foresight guide, but trusted our love, our scars, to keep her grounded. Tom's shadow faded, Lisa's name forgotten, and I spun the wheel, the clay rising, a future we'd shaped, stronger than the one he stole.